All right, friends, we're gonna get started seated. If it's comfortable for you to sit onto your heels, feel free to do so. If you'd rather grab a block or two and begin in Virasana on a block, with the block in between your feet underneath your sit bones, go ahead and do so. And just rest your hands on your thighs, maybe palms facing up so the fronts of your shoulders can draw back. Allow your eyes to close or soften, whatever feels best in this moment. And then just take a few breaths here, starting to find a steady breath in and out of the nose. And nothing super fancy with the breath, just starting to find a steady tempo of the breath in and out of the nose. And with your exhales, press down into your seat. You might feel this connection of your sit bones plugging into the ground, the earth below you, this rootedness through the lower body. And every inhale, grow a little bit taller. You might feel a sense of opening, lengthening, expanding through the upper body. So use your exhales to press down, and your inhales to lift up. And together, let's take a slow but deep breath in through the nose. And a gentle exhale out of the mouth. And then allow your eyes to very softly flutter open. Reach your arms forward in front of you, arms about shoulder height. Spin your inner arms up towards the ceiling and squeeze your outer arms down and in. And then with your next breath in, raise your arms to the sky, palms facing each other. Arms about shoulder width apart, can be a little bit wider, but do not shrug your shoulders down your spine. Instead, reach up, really lifting up and out of your legs. Reach through the pinky fingers as you continue to squeeze your outer upper arms forward and spin the inner arms back. And then notice if when you raised your arms, did your front ribs raise like this? I'm exaggerating. Direct your front ribs down and in towards your frontal hip bones so that the movement comes from the shoulders rather than relying on the easy mobility of your low back. And now we're going to prepare the wrists a little bit as well as the shoulders with our arms up. Curl your fingers in like you're making fists with your hands super tight, and then spread your fingers as wide as you can. And then do that as fast as you can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can just release your arms, shake out your hands a little bit, roll your shoulders up and back a couple of times. And then make your way onto hands and knees in a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrist, hips over your knees, and then turn your fingers out left and right. A little more prep work for the wrists since we will be on the hands quite a bit today. Start to rock side to side a little bit. I like to grip the mat with my fingertips. And now from here, bring the backs of your hands closer to each other. So fingers still turned out. Try to keep your arms straight and then start to make some circles, maybe 3 or 4 circles in one direction. And then switch directions a few times. Could be big circles, could be small. Doesn't matter too much, just starting to wake up the body. And then come back through center. Turn your fingers back towards your knees, hands under the shoulders. So hands are back to shoulder width apart, but fingers turn back. Tuck your toes under, and as you inhale, pull your heart forward and up, arch your spine. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, round your spine. See if you can float your knees an inch off the mat for 5, 4, draw your low belly in for 3, 2, 1, drop to your knees one more time. Inhale, arch. Pull your heart forward and up, slide your shoulders back. Exhale, reverse around the spine. Try to hover your knees an inch off the mat for 5. For 4, feel your shoulders spread across your back. 3, 2, and 1, drop to your knees. Keep your toes tucked under, but bring your feet together as much as you can, and then sit back on your heels. If it's way too intense to sit on your heels, you can keep your hands forward, but we won't be here too long. Reach your arms forward, spread your fingers, and then start to extend and flex at the wrist for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And 1, come forward onto hands and knees, point your toes. You can pat out your feet a little bit. Make sure your shoulders are right over your wrists. Gently fan out your fingers and make sure your wrist creases are parallel to the top edge of your mat. Spin your inner arms forward and wrap your outer arms in. Do that as you press down through the base of each index finger. Step back to your plank pose. And from this plank, first plank, let's do a little movement. Start to rock forward and backwards on your toes. It's okay if your shoulders get a little past your wrist. Again, I like to grip the mat with my fingertips. Try to keep your arms straight. Take another breath or so here. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Plank to down dog is usually about a good length. Should only have to adjust your feet a tiny bit. Glance back at your feet, make sure they're hip width apart, make sure your inner heels are hidden behind you. Take a little bend in your knees, and then with your knees bent, see if you can press your chest to your thighs. Press down through every knuckle, every fingertip to send your hips high up towards the ceiling behind you. Relax the head and neck, the eyes, the jaw. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, drop to your knees. Lower your forearms, your elbows to the mat. Look at your elbows, make sure they are no wider than shoulder width apart. And now step your feet back to your plank on the forearms. Plug into the ground with your big toe mounds. Catch your hips shoulder height. And remember, you can always drop to your knees at any point. If your wrist, your shoulders need a little break, it's a lot of upper body work. Press down through your palms, your forearms, your elbows. Keep pushing the ground away from you so your shoulders spread across your back rather than wing out. Reach your chest forward and press your heels back. Move in 2 directions. And then lift the pubic bone up and in towards the navel. I always say it's like you're zipping up a tight pair of jeans. So there's little to no trace of a back bend in your lower body. But then keep reaching your chest forward. Keep that openness, that awareness through the upper body. And now let's add some movement. Start to rock forward and back. Rocking forward onto the tippy toes, rocking back. Let's take another 3 or so breaths here. And 1 more inhale. And then exhale, lower all the way down. All right, that was a long plank. Point your toes. Slide your hands back by your low ribs. Press down through the tops of your feet. Peel your head, your chest, your shoulders off the mat, low cobra. Just a few breaths here. Keep the gaze down so the back of the neck is long. Make your hands as light as possible. Give your wrist a little break, but also use your upper back strength more than arm strength to lift and open the chest. Pin your elbows in, roll the shoulders back. Take another breath. And keep your chest up. Make sure your hands are right under the elbows. And inhale, come to upward facing dog. Shoulders over the wrists. Lift your thighs. Take a deep breath in. Downward facing dog, hips up and back. Take a long breath in here. And a long breath out. Take another inhale. As you exhale, lower your forearms, your elbows. At the same time, if you can, come to your dolphin pose. Make sure your elbows are no wider than shoulder width apart. You might have to pin them in a little bit. Come high on your toes and take a little bend in your knees. You might step your feet in a little bit. With a little bend in your knees, see if you can now press your chest back towards your thighs. Push your hips up and back. You might keep your knees bent if it's helpful. You might straighten your legs, but either way, stay high on your toes. Press your chest to your thighs. Send your hips up and back. 1 more breath in. Exhale, drop to your knees. Come up onto hands and knees, tabletop. Shoulders over the wrists. Hips over the knees. Now from here, we're going to come to a pointed plank pose. So what it'll look like is you'll step your feet back, but you'll be on the tops of your feet rather than the balls of your feet. And if that's too much, feel free to simply tuck your toes under. And then have your hips shoulder height, almost like you're doming the upper back a little bit. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right upper arm. Try to get above the elbow. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, left knee to left upper arm. Inhale, step it back. 3 more each side. Exhale, right knee, right upper arm. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, left knee, left upper arm. Step it back. 2 more. You can always add, you can always subtract. It's your practice. Take what you need. And then drop to your knees. Child's pose, big toes touch, let the hips melt back. If your shoulders need a break, maybe rest your arms back by your sides. Give your shoulders a little break. Deep breath in here, deep breath out. With your next breath in, walk your hands forward. We'll meet back in downward facing dog, hips up and back. And notice what's present. You might already feel a little more heat, a little more warmth in the body. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Stay for the breath out. Keep that heat in the body. Inhale, raise your right leg to the sky. Exhale, tap your knee to your right upper arm. Try to get above the elbow. Now, as you inhale, slide your knee down towards the right wrist. And exhale, hike it back up towards the elbow. Inhale, slide it down towards the wrist. Exhale, hike it up. Inhale, slide it down. Last time, exhale, hike it up. Lower your right shin to the ground. Extend your left leg back. Float your leg off the mat. Dial all your left toes to the mat as if I could place a teacup on your low back. Draw the low belly in. You might stay or come to right fingertips. You might reach the right arm forward. Reach back through the left heel. Reach the crown of the head forward. One more inhale. Exhale, place the right hand down. Lower the ball of the left foot down. Step your right foot back, plank pose. Take an inhale. As you exhale, dolphin, lift your hips. Try to lower forearms at the same time. It might not happen perfectly, but it doesn't matter. And then look forward at your thumbs. Try to straighten your arms, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, drop to your knees. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower it just part way. Maybe you're a little higher, that's fine. Inhale, press straight back up. Exhale all the way to the belly. Hands right under the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift your thighs, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, float your left leg up. Exhale, tap your knee to your left upper arm, maybe get above the elbow. Inhale, slide it down to left wrist. Exhale, hike it up. Inhale, go down. Exhale, up. Last time, inhale. Exhale, lower the left shin down. Float the right foot off the mat. Spin the right outer hip down. I could place that teacup on the low back. Draw the low belly in. Stay or come to left fingertips. Stay or reach left arm forward. Extend back through the right heel. Reach the crown of the head forward. One more breath. Exhale, left hand down. Lower the ball of the right foot down. Step to your plank. Take an inhale. Dolphin, hips go up. Lower forearms, elbows at the same time. Look forward between your thumbs. Try to straighten your arms at the same time. Downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward. Plank. Exhale, drop to your knees. Point your toes, take a breath in. Exhale, lower. Maybe catch yourself elbow height or stay a little higher. Inhale, press up. Exhale, all the way to the belly. Pelvis first, then belly, then chest. Hands right under the elbows. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, tap your knee to your right upper arm. Try to get above the elbow. Now stay or come to left fingertips. Stay or try to tap right elbow with your left hand. Left hand goes down. Step the right foot forward. Get your toes in line with your fingers. Lower your back knee to the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Low lunge. Stay to exhale, ground down through the right heel. One more breath. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck your back toes. Lift the back knee and twist to your right. Reach your right arm to the sky. Now from here, turn all your toes to the right. Walk your right foot down the long edge of your mat. and come to the pinky side of your back foot. Lift your bottom hip, press down with your bottom hand, option to stay, or stack right foot on left foot side plank. Try to lift the bottom hip higher. One more breath. Top hand down. We'll meet in our plank pose. Take a breath in. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, downward facing dog, straighten your arms. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Option to keep your knees up or lower. We're taking one push-up. Exhale, lower partway. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, dolphin. Lower your elbows, your forearms, hips go up. Straighten your arms, downward facing. Inhale to plank. Exhale to the belly. Point your toes. Inhale, upward facing. Shoulders over wrist. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, raise the left leg up. Exhale, tap your knee to your left upper arm. Stay, or try to come to right fingertips. Even if it makes you wobbly, even if you fall, that means you're learning something new. Stay, or tap left elbow with right wrist. Right hand down, step your left foot forward. That side's way harder for me. Lower your back knee to the mat. Sweep your arms up, low lunge. Full breath in. Stay to exhale. Soften the eyes, the shoulders, the jaw. One more breath in. Hands to the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee. Twist, reach your left arm up. Turn all your toes to the left. Come to the pinky side of your back foot. Walk your left foot down the long edge of your mat. Lift your bottom hip. Option to stay or option to stack left foot on right foot. Press down with your bottom hand. One more breath. Top hand down, we'll meet in plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, dolphin. Lower your forearms, hips go up. Straighten your arms at the same time, downward facing. Inhale, rock forward, plank pose. Knees can be up or down. One push-up, lower part way. Inhale, press up. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, downward facing. Exhale, rock forward to plank, full breath in. Lower all the way to the belly. Point your toes. Inhale, upward facing. Shoulders over the wrist. Exhale, downward facing. Look back at your feet, make sure they're hip width apart, and then walk your hands to the back of the mat. Hook onto your big toes with your 2-piece fingers. Inhale, rock forward, offer your heart forward. Without shifting back, exhale, fold in. Relax the head and neck. And if you feel this in the low back, take a little bend in your knees. Let your elbows splay out, spread the shoulders away from the ears. Let the breath slow down. Another breath in. And exhale, release your hands. Crawl forward, downward facing dog. We're gonna run through that one more time. Last little piece. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, clearing breath. And then inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, tap the knee to the right upper arm. Now slide your knee down towards the right wrist, option to stay, or try coming to left fingertips. Stay, or can you tap your right elbow with the left hand? Place the left hand down, step the right foot forward. Rise up to your high lunge, full breath in. Stay to exhale, bend the front knee, ground down through the right heel. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Twist, reach your right arm to the sky. Turn all your toes to the right, come to the pinky side of your back foot, walk your right foot down the long edge of your mat. You might stay here. You might stack right foot on left foot. You might take wild things, step right foot behind left leg. Lift your hips, open your chest. Full breath in. And as you exhale, bring that right hand down, find your plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, dolphin. Lower forearms at the same time. Look between your thumbs, straighten your arms downward facing. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, press straight back up. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, straighten your arms downward facing. Rock forward to plank. Exhale to the belly. Point your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Thighs lift, shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up, last side. Exhale, knee to the left upper arm. Slide your knee down to the left wrist. Stay, or come to right fingertips. Stay, or could you tap left elbow with right hand? My harder side. Right hand down. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Stay to exhale, ground down through that front heel as you bend the knee. One more breath. Exhale, lower hands. Twist, reach your left arm up. Turn all your toes to the left. Come to the very outer edge of your back foot. Walk your left foot down the long edge of your mat. Maybe stay. Maybe stack left foot on right foot. Maybe take wild thing. Got a breath here. Lift your hips. Open your chest. One more breath. Top hand down will meet in plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, downward facing. Rock forward to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower part way. Inhale, press up. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, straighten the arms, downward facing. Rock forward to plank. Take an inhale. Exhale to the belly. Point your toes, hands under the elbows. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Look back at your feet. Make sure they're hip width apart. Crawl your hands to the back of the mat. Once you arrive, slide your hands underneath your feet, Padahastasana. Try to get toes up to your wrist creases. Bend your knees as much as you need to. As you inhale, rock forward, reach your heart forward. Exhale, fold in. If you feel this in the low back, bend your knees. Sometimes that's not enough. You could do this pose with your hands on blocks in the same shape. Sometimes you do that and then you can also keep your legs straight, and then you get the hamstring stretch as well as the wrist stretch. Make the pose work for you. Never force yourself into a shape that doesn't make sense for you. And these poses might be hard, they might be challenging, but they should never cause pain. Take another breath in. So you exhale, release your hands from your feet. Crawl forward, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently drop to your knees. Swing your feet off to one side. Come to lay all the way down on your back. Once you're on your back, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little rock left and right. And then reach your arms and your legs up towards the ceiling. Have a soft bend in your elbows and your knees. Curl your fingers in and then start to make some circles with your wrist and your ankles. And I like to actually watch what my wrist and my feet are doing. Am I actually making circles or some other shape? Which is fine. No need to judge. Take about 8 circles in one direction. And then you'll switch and take about 8 circles in the other direction, and they might be small, they might be bigger. Maybe it starts to feel a little more fluid over time. Once you've done that about 8 times, come through center, point your fingers up towards the sky, and now you're going to draw your fingers and your toes back towards your face, and then point them away from you. Let's do that 8 times. And we did a lot on our hands today. And the wrists, they do get stronger over time. But it's always important to warm them up and cool them down a little bit before and after practice. Hug your knees into your chest. And then find Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of feet together, knees wide. Bring your arms out wide, palms facing the sky. If this feels lovely, feel free to stay. If you'd like to turn it into a twist, draw your right knee towards your left knee, twisting towards the left. And you might bring your knees a little closer into your chest, especially if you have any low back sensitivity. You could also do this with a block or pillow or blanket between your knees. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Come through center, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of feet together, knees wide. And if you took the twist, take it on the other side, left knee to right. Maybe the gaze goes over the left arm. And let go of any gripping in your hands. Just let your fingers spread and relax. Relax the shoulders. And then come back towards center, soles of feet together, knees wide. And rest your hands somewhere on your torso. Could be the belly. One hand on the belly, one on the chest. Whatever feels best. And let the eyes close and soften. Relax the chest, the belly, and the hips. And with your hands on your torso, you might start to feel that natural rise and fall of the breath. And together, let's take one more slow but deep breath in through the nose. Fill up the belly. Open mouth, cleansing breath. If this feels like a good spot to stay a little longer, stay as long as you need. If you'd rather take a classical Shavasana with your legs extended out in front of you, do so. Stay as long as you need. Thank you for joining practice. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.